Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin, Meg, and Toby. Everybody knows Toby. You don't need any introduction.
Most important one.
Yes, you don't need any introduction, buddy. So we wanted to talk today about how long you should keep doing your home exercise plan. I don't know about you, Meg, but I feel like this is the most common question I get, like 2 visits in.
Yeah, it is. It's a very common question, and it's, I think it's something that is hard for people because the answer, at least the answer, in my opinion, is kind of forever if you don't want the injury to keep recurring in some capacity forever. You don't have to do 40 minutes of exercises every other day for the rest of your life, but in some capacity, working in the exercises that helped you get better it's probably addressing something that you were missing in your training beforehand. And it's something that you probably need to keep working on forever. Yeah.
I mean, I usually tell people either the injury occurred because of something was inefficient, and maybe that could be just genetically the way you're built, or maybe it has to do with what your training was like before, or some sport that you maybe played while you were growing and developing and now something different that you're doing. The example I always use is like people who were swimmers, maybe through like growing and then maybe even in like high school and college, they have this like huge aerobic engine, but the water sort of holds them up. So they don't always have some of the other strength they need, but they're strong. And so they can tend to get themselves in trouble when they get into like maybe running or say like a CrossFit style training or something. They're not used to having to support their load. And so it's just something you're going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
And not in that way, just like keeping up with some amount of the exercises.
Right.
And I think that's the big take home message. You might not have to do all of them every day.
So how do you decide which ones are important for people? If people are looking at their exercise program and they're saying, all right, I need to do some of this forever. How do you decide if they say, which one should I do? Should I keep doing?
Sometimes it's as easy as just being the ones they're really bad at.
Yeah.
And the ones you can see them really struggling with, you can see they still need to build on that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's also the ones that they like the least.
Yeah.
So even if they're not bad at it, if they hate it, they're kind of, it's kind of like broccoli. Like it's the things you like the least.
Yeah.
You need the most.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think some component of it is also the ones that they're likely going to do, because you can tell them to do an exercise, and if they're never going to ever do that exercise, then it's no good to do it. So I think it's finding the right balance of finding the ones that are challenging and the ones that they really need to work on, but also the ones that they're not so intimidated by that they're just never going to actually do it. Which is a hard balance. But how long do you recommend? So in our setting, we have a unique opportunity to be able to see people say, 6 weeks after they're better from, whatever their injury was, sort of for like a check-in appointment. How long after they feel better do you continue with your check-in appointments? Would you recommend people try to continue with their PT?
Sometimes it depends. I mean, some people feel more comfortable continuing with them ongoing. Yeah. Especially the more active people are. They like the continuation because new things pop up. What I usually tell people is we could nitpick and improve and change what you're doing forever. Yeah. It's where you feel like you need input from us. Yeah. And some people prefer not to have like a check-in thing, but to just schedule on their own and sort of pop in and out. And that's sort of the beauty with this system is we can just let people do whatever works best for them.
Yeah. And I think that that's most beneficial for the patients because it also allows them to challenge themselves on their own. But then when they're maybe realizing that maybe exercises are getting easier and they're not sure how to make them harder again, they can come in and they can have us help them with that. Or like you said, if something else sort of pops up that they need us to look at, that's what's so great about just physical therapy in general. are able to see you without you having to go to your doctors first and go through all of that process. You can just, schedule an appointment and come and have us take a look at it. So whatever part of the rehab process you're in, whether, you've been recovered for a year or, you're still going through it, we're able to help you sort of through that whole time.
Yeah, it can basically be like, instead of thinking of it as like an old school traditional PT where someone told you to go 3 times a week for 6 weeks, and then you were either better or you failed and you didn't get better, and like that was the only outcome.
Right.
I usually talk about it more in line of like your eye doctor or a dentist or somebody like that, where you're never like, your dentist never discharges you. They're never like, hey, no cavities, don't come back until you have a problem. Mm-hmm. It's more like, let's check in 6 months, or I'm less good at that, maybe a year. And then, let's see where you are and kind of go from there. Same thing with like the eye doctor. It's sort of like, as your body grows and changes or stops growing at a certain age and changes, your eyesight changes and things start to change. The same thing goes on with your like musculoskeletal system. And so it's good to have a check-in and see what you're doing. Yeah. I think it also holds people accountable. Like people will often tell me, no, I want to have something on the books to come back, because if I don't, I'm going to stop doing this.
Right.
That's, I think, the biggest thing is people, when they feel better, like pain's a great motivator.
Yeah.
You feel better and you're like, I don't need to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. I feel better. So I don't know. Do you have any tricks to stay motivated when it doesn't hurt anymore?
To stay motivated. I mean, I think that it depends on what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. If you have goals that are, like a race, or you want to be able to continue playing in your softball league or something, you want to be able to keep playing with your kids or your grandkids. I think, recognizing how continuing to do your exercises will help you be able to achieve those goals is a good motivator in and of itself, because, you maybe are not in pain anymore, but you can recognize this helped me be able to do these things again. So maybe I should keep doing it, so that you don't end up back here in 6 months with the same pain, and we ask you, oh, what have you been doing? Have you kept up with your exercises? And the answer is always no.
Yeah.
So I think that if you can find something that in your life that you recognize, hey, this helped me be able to do this, that is really helpful. Yeah. To motivate you.
Nope. I totally agree. I often tell people to try and tie their exercises. Sometimes people do better in different ways. Some people do great with like, I'm going to block off 20, 30 minutes and do this. Other people, it's more challenging for them to do that. And I will say, like, try and pair your exercise with something you do. So if you have like a daily meeting at work or something that you're doing every day, whether it's like wake up in the morning and I turn the coffee pot on, and then you're going to do a specific exercise while you wait for the coffee to brew or while you brush your teeth, or pair it to things that you do on a regular basis so that it just becomes part of your routine. And then once it's built in, you're good to go.
And on that same note, you can also build it into your regular workout routine as well. If that's the time that you have to do it, add, an exercise here, an exercise there to your workout program, and then it just becomes part of your routine. So you don't even have to think about it anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
I think for a long time, people thought of, PT just as the rehab part and just coming back. But also from the PT side, I think for a long time, PT sort of like underloaded things, and the exercises probably weren't hard enough. So then as people got better, it didn't feel like something that was helpful, because it probably wasn't.
Right.
But now, as we know more and as people have started to practice differently, you can really see the benefit from continuing on with specific parts of your rehab program long-term, indefinitely.
So if somebody doesn't want to come back to PT for sort of a check-in session, how do you describe to them how to make sure that they continue to make sure the exercises are hard enough? How do they progress them on their own?
I will usually tell them that depending on the exercise and sort of what we're doing, that the weight should be hard enough. Yeah. That when you get done with, let's say we're telling you to do like 3 sets of 8, when you get done with 3 or 4 sets of 8, you can really feel like you can only do 3 or 4 more reps. If you feel like you can do a whole nother set or maybe 5 or 6, then it's time to up the weight. And then people can sort of progress things on their own from that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Same.
Yeah. Same idea.
All right. So big take home messages. You have to keep doing your exercises indefinitely, but they should stay hard.
Yeah.
And they should stay as something that challenges you so that you can keep making progress. And the big thing is that will prevent you from needing to come back for a different injury or a reoccurrence of the same injury.
Right. We're happy to see you always.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're happy to see you when you're healthy and helping you more with performance, of course.
Exactly.
Instead of being here in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. That's what we have for you. Oh, Toby's getting up and walking away. He's had enough. Thank you very much. And we'll see you back here next time.